Yeah, what do you do if you are angry with God or the church? Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, first listen to this podcast. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my channel, Father Manuel on the block. Today, we are going to speak about this topic which many people suffer and they think they are bad Christians because they get angry with God or with church. First and foremost, I must tell you, you are not a bad Christian. Most of them get angry with church or God. We are going to discuss about this topic, but if you feel angry with God or church, it means that you are a human being. You care about the church. That's why you're getting angry. If you don't get angry and you say, yeah, that's not my cup of tea, do what you want, and you leave the topic, right? For example, you also get angry on your father or your mother, but you would like to discuss it with them and you tell them because this relationship is so important with you. So let's begin. First point is being angry is not the same as actually abandoning God. When you feel angry at somebody, actually you are having a relationship with that person. And God is real enough to be angry at. He's somebody who matters to you, and that's why you're getting angry. At least you're still talking to him. The real danger in anger is when you keep silence, yeah. That we experience also sometimes in our families when the spouses are angry with each other, they keep silence. That's actually bad. And the person you are hurting is not the person you are keeping silence with. You're hurting yourself because you're spoiling that relationship. So it is good when you are angry to express yourself. Yeah, it's not good to keep your anger and to stuff anger in it. It'll burst out one day like a Pepsi Cola when you shake and you open the cap. But by being angry, actually you are acknowledging God. When you are angry about God, you're saying, okay, about God. uh, it brings me a doubt, like when atheists are angry about God, I think they actually believe that God exists. It's a good question to ask. The second point is actually the Bible itself gives you permission to be angry with God. Read the Psalms. It's all about anger towards God. It's such a beautiful relationship because the psalmist has nobody else than to speak to God. And he says, how long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? In Psalm 13, he's actually shouting at God. He's angry with God, but he's expressing it with a deep, honest heart and knowing that God is loving. But still, it is okay to be angry with God. Just imagine Jesus himself was a kind of a little bit, angry with God. At the cross, he's hanging and he asked God, my God, why have you forsaken me? It's a little bit of anger is also involved in this feeling. And this comes actually from Psalm 22. Jesus read the Psalms and he knew he was actually praying the Psalms by being angry with God. So if you are actually angry with God, don't be disappointed. Don't pretend. Bring it to God as it is. Saint Teresa of Lisieux has a beautiful quote. She says, "For me, prayer is like the surge of the heart. It is simple look towards heaven." Surge of the heart, it includes also sorrow, confusion, and yes, sometimes anger. The third point is actually anger is only the top emotion, but there is something running underneath. There's usually something else, like for example, grief. I lost somebody. I lost this person whom I love. God, why did you take him up from me? God, why is he not there with me now? Or you have fear. I cannot control this, and you don't have to you don't have anybody to shout at, and you shout at God. Or you have disappointment, or you have confusion or exhaustion. Yeah, these are emotions which are part and parcel of being a human being. So there is a powerful prayer. It is very small prayer. It says, Lord, I am angry. You know it. Please help me to overcome this feeling. Just naming it, just calling it, just telling it as it is to God itself is a healing process. Let's now talk about anger, not only at God, but also at the church. Sometimes people are angry because they were judged during a parish council meeting, or some priest told them something in the church. They were treated coldly, or they were disappointed by some leaders in the church, or they're suffering because of a real scandal or sin which they read in the newspaper or saw in the media. Let's say it plainly, yeah? Members of the church can sin terribly. They are human beings, yeah, and that can wound faith deeply. But there is a line I tell people carefully: please don't throw away Jesus because you experience something bad. You can feel angry at the church, but don't stop coming to church. That is your home. When you are angry with your family members, you don't stop going to your home. You are there. You try to take, methods to solve this problem. Actually, you are part and parcel actually of the problem. Or some people say, Father, I will not go to church because there are only hypocrites there. There are only bad people. There are only sinners and those who do scandals there. Yeah, I also ask them then, say also the same thing about, Father, I will not go to McDonald's because there are only hypocrites there. There are only sinners there. Ha ha ha. You want to go to McDonald's and eat a mac cheeseburger with a double cheese and double, beef patty, although knowing there are other people also who are sinning and other people also human beings, right? It's the same thing also with the church. You still need to go. It is your church. You get angry at the church, but you go there. Try to do something that brings down this anger and kinds of starts a healing process. It is our church. Don't forget that. Guys, there is this beautiful quotation by St. Paul in his letters to the Corinthians. He says, we hold this treasure in earthen vessels. It's a beautiful analogy, actually. What is the treasure? The treasure is actually Jesus, the sacraments, and the gospel. And what is this earthen vessel? It is fragile. It is sometimes messy. It is sometimes sinful. That is the church. And some things like this, which are messy, when you see, you are always getting angry. It's very normal. But it is important still that these treasures are protected and have a place to be in this earthen vessel. Yeah, and one more important point, guys, when I talk about anger, you need to reconcile and you need to mm, start the healing process, and all that is okay. But when there's really a problem of justice or abuse or whatever, yeah, it is important for you to go and talk to the higher authorities in the church. I must make this statement also, it is very important. Guys, at the end, I would like to conclude by saying, if you are at all angry at God or at the church, please speak it out. Please name your emotion. Please don't stop going to the church. Please don't stop receiving the sacraments. Yeah. You are part and parcel of the church. You are just like an organ of the body. Like St. Paul says, we are all part and parcel of the whole one body and one church, and it is also your home. You need to take care of it. Uh, we need to name the emotion, but let's also work at the healing process. Let's end with a prayer. Lord, for those who are angry at you, you draw them closer, not farther. For those angry at the church, protect them from bitterness and give them the truth and healing. Teach us to lament without losing faith, to seek justice without losing charity, and to stay near even when our hearts are heavy. Give us the grace to be close to you now and forever. Amen. Thank you, guys. See you in the next video. Keep smiling. Be angry, but also smile.